Multiple hostiles inbound.
Watch my back. See that? I'll take him out.
Airborne toxins at unsafe levels. Troopers failing. Air filter function restored. Air quality acceptable. Immediate medical assistance needed. System reactivated. Immediate medical assistance needed.
Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I want to show you for today my bighorn build. This is a build that I made for specifically for PVE. Tested this on PvP. It's not necessarily that good. It could be some use due to the mechanics of the bighorn, but it's not necessarily a reliable weapon for PvP. But for PvE, this one is actually one of the best combinations that you can have for an assault rifle. Has damage, has output of a rifle, so you can use it as a rifle and also as an assault rifle. And yeah, I want to show you my build for today and also what I've been making and adapting this one along the way of testing it. So let's get into the build. I have here the sharpshooter, as you can see, mainly for the headshot damage and the stability, which actually works very good. Now, all you guys know about this rifle, about this exotic assault rifle. For you guys that don't know where to get this assault rifle, it's actually it's a drop on the legendary missions that we have, so you can get this assault rifle. So either let me just show you. So either here on the District Union Arena. So if you select the difficulties, you have the legendary. Also, this one goes for the Capitol building and for Roosevelt Island. So these are the three missions that we can do on legendary difficulty to actually get the weapon. Now let's go over into the weapon itself. So it has assault rifle damage, health damage, and critical hit damage. This one at max, I think it's 9%, so I didn't try to go over it. But I will try to re-roll my stats when I get some exotic exotic weapons where I can dismount and use them to recalibrate this weapon. So let's go over into the weapons talent. So we have the Big Hunter. When scope switches the semi-automatic fire mode, dealing 450% weapon damage. with each shot. Headshot grants +2 headshot damage. So before going on the rest of the talent, this is why I choose the sharpshooter for this one. And I will explain to you also for my secondary weapon. The sharpshooter, it's kind of like a must. So stacks up to 50 times. Once at full stacks, 10 stacks decay every 4 seconds until all stacks have been removed. Headshots delay decaying of stacks. So you'll be dealing a lot of headshot damage. Now when the weapon it's not zoomed, because this is what it says here, so when scoped, switches to semi-automatic fire mode. When not scoped, it actually fires like a normal assault rifle, so that will mean full auto. For the secondary weapon, and I will explain to you why I choose the M16. Now the M16 is actually the best rifle in the game that does more damage overall. So it's an overall best rifle in the game, because the highest damage is actually the 1886, but for overall weapon, the M16 is actually the best weapon. So you can see here rifle damage, critical hit damage, damage to armor. You can go here to damage to targets out of cover. This is basically the best talent that you can use for the M16 because it's so easy to use. So landing body shots adds a stack of bonus of +35 headshot damage for the next headshot for 10 seconds. Max stack is 3. So basically what you can do is, let me just show you. So if you see there, I have a counter on the right side of the weapon where it says 0. If I'm firing once, I have all 3 stacks. So the next stack will go directly into headshot. This one it's actually easier compared to using other rifles, because you don't have to count how many shots you deal. For this one, it's actually plain and simple. You just fire once at the body, once at the head, once at the body, once at the head, and so on. And this one, like it says, it has +35 headshot damage. So this one goes obviously very good with the sharpshooter. So this is why I choose both of. I choose the M16 and also the big one for this one. Now for the mods, real quick: critical hit damage, 20 stability, and 5% critical hit chance. Why did I choose stability instead of 20 plus rounds on this one? Is because it's very important, especially when you're firing and moving at the same time. Stability for this weapon is not necessarily a strong point, but if you add these 20 plus rounds, this 20% stability, it will increase the stability when firing and moving at the same time. If you like to stay more into the cover, I would suggest using the 20 plus rounds, but in my opinion 30 bullets it's more than enough, and the reload time it's actually quite fast. So you don't need necessarily like that 50%, that 20 plus rounds in order to make this weapon reliable. This is reliable no matter the cost, and in my opinion, using this on multiple missions, either it's a PVE mission or it's a legendary mission or the raids, this one come up better than using the classic MOA in my opinion. So these are the two weapons. Let's go over into the build. The sidearm, I choose it. To me personally, it doesn't matter that much, because my experience playing for both the Division 1 and 2, I can easily say that the sidearm is not used so much, and you can choose whatever sidearm. I choose this one because I have one thing that I'm counting on, especially on the weapons that we have, the sidearms that we have in the game. Some of them have this ability to add a flashlight underneath the weapon. So in some scenarios where I'm looking for something, or I'm somewhere in the sewers, or even on the summit because it's very dark, I usually use the flashlight in order to check for locks on the gates, where you can actually destroy the locks and then go inside. So this is the reason why I choose this one. To me personally, I don't use the handgun so often, so you can choose whatever you want here, doesn't matter. Now let's go over into the build. So I have here the Coyote mask. Basically this is a pretty straightforward why I choose this one. So depending from what distance do you shoot, you'll get bonuses for you and your teammates. So 25% critical hit damage from 0 to 50 meters, 15 to 25 critical hit chance and critical hit damage, and 25 meter plus critical hit chance. Now to me, I'm maxed out on the build on the critical hit chance, so I don't need that much, but for other teammates it's actually good. And most of the time when I'm using 25 meter plus, it's when I'm using the assault rifle, the bighorn, and most of the time when I'm firing at the medium level, I choose to either use the bighorn without a scope or the M16. So that will increase both critical hit chance and critical hit damage. And on close range, it's most of the time, I'll probably say like 80% of the time I'm using the bighorn. So that will give me and my teammates 25% critical hit damage boost. Now for the chest piece, I'm using a Walker Harrison Co. That gives me 5% weapon damage with, as you can see here, maxed out with Unbreakable. For the holster, I'm using the Seska to give me the 10% critical hit chance. Also full on reds with both critical hit damage and critical hit chance. Now for the knee pads, I'm using the Fox Prayer because I'm using the M16, so that will give me more damage, so 10% rifle damage plus the 8% damage to target out of cover, which is multiplicative damage with critical hit damage and 30% weapon damage. For the gloves, Group Pro Swomba to give me that 50% critical hit damage, and for the backpack, I'm using the Fenris to give me the 10% assault rifle damage with weapon damage, critical hit chance, critical hit damage. Also a mod for critical hit chance with vigilance, because obviously I'm staying in the back as much as I can. I rarely shoot the weapon, the bighorn, at close range, but it depends on the situation. For example, in the summit, I'm using more at close range than longer range, because the summit is doesn't have that wide range in order for me to use the scope. But if I'm using outside on different missions or even on the raids, some of the raids, because most of the bosses within Operation Iron Horse, for example, the second boss, it's actually quite close. The first one is quite close as well. You need to stay in kind of like a close range, so I'll probably use the zoomless version of the bighorn, but it depends on the situation. Both of them are basically good. What you can do right here, if you don't have the vigilance, you can go with companion, and you can use your fixer drone in order to get that boost. Vigilance is once you take damage, this one will be disabled for 4 seconds. Companion, it's actually when you have a player next to you, so you're a friendly player, or a skill next to you. So you can use either vigilance, companion, and composure. Yes, it's another talent that you can use. Staying in cover will give you 50% weapon damage as long as you stay in cover. So the talent is all totally up to you which versions you want to choose. Let me show you the stats real quick. So I have here the 54% critical hit chance and 163 critical hit damage. I can choose one mod here and actually give that 60% critical hit chance, but in my opinion and my testing, I think that 54% is actually good. Now if I'm switching this to the M16, I have 59% critical hit chance. That's actually what the muzzle brought me, because I have 5% critical hit chance on the muzzle, and I have 177 critical hit damage. So in my opinion, with this build you can actually use it very well in all raids or all missions, especially the legendary missions, because it's a reliable build. It has a lot of damage, and in my opinion, for players that like to use the bighorn, it's a good weapon in my opinion, and still is and still going to be, because of the talent itself. So yeah, for the skills, pretty easy, because this one is for PVE. So Revive Hive and Fixer Drone, you can use whatever you want here. In my opinion, try to stay with the Revive Hive if you want to use the Fixer Drone, to swap the Fixer Drone to something else. But yeah, Revive Hive, it's in my opinion, it's a must for this build. And yeah, that's pretty much all for the build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see more The Division 2 content like this, and until next time, have a good one.